we have provided roughly 400,000 pounds of cash investment over the last 3 years, roughly 500,000 of in-kind services. Using that, we built those stakes, and we've seen an £8.5 million fair value increase from that group of companies. We expect a lot to come out of those, but also we expect to continue to build our venture build practice.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Dr. Ilyan Ilyev from EMV Capital, the CEO. And sir, good to see you. How are you?
Very good, Steve. Thank you.
Yeah, excited to talk a little bit about your performance in 2024. Obviously, very strong. The company doing very, very well. Maybe talk to me a little bit about what you're seeing. I know you saw a 33% increase in assets under management. So it sounds like the strategy is working.
Absolutely. And look, it's been, as we all know, it's been a very difficult market environment, but our approach is that it's in such circumstances that new leaders are born and that great opportunities arise. So we've been extremely focused on delivering the business model, and we've seen multiple value inflection points and validation points for our strategy. You talked about the fund management side. So at the beginning of last year, we received our direct FCA authorization. On the back of that, we took over the mandate for our EAS Evergreen Investment Fund. But most importantly, in May last year, we took over as fund manager the relatively well-known Cambridge-focused VC fund, Martlet Capital. So that in only a few months launched our fund management strategy, which has positive effects throughout our business model.
Yeah, a 67% growth in that core VC business. I mean, these numbers are really sort of jumping out at you. And as you mentioned, it has been a challenging time within the markets as well. And so why do you feel like you've been able to sort of stay above all the chaos and turmoil?
Well, we haven't been above it. We've been right inside it. But over the last ever so many years, I think we've built the skill set with our multidisciplinary and quite battle-hardened team to deal with such complex situations. And to talk about the revenue aspect, in previous times I've spoken to your viewers and listeners, we have been building bit by bit our multifaceted operational revenue strategy, which is a bit of a differentiator in the VC space. As a result, now we have multiple sources of revenue that cover corporate finance, where we provide corporate finance services to our portfolio companies. There's now the fund management side, which provides recurring revenues from our fund management activities. And in addition to that, there is value creation services, which is where we engage with companies, particularly in our venture build portfolio, helping those companies grow, providing hands-on capabilities and being paid for it. Of course, ultimately, where we're looking for investment returns is from exits that will provide direct revenues to our direct cash back to the company and returns to the investors, but also through the fund management side, we opened up the prospects to carried interest. So we believe that in a changing VC industry, it is such a multifaceted strategy that de-risks a business and enables us to capture opportunities in a challenging environment.
And Ilyan, just so people understand, some of those businesses that you talked about are nearing critical milestones within their companies and the ability to take that next step, as you mentioned. So this sounds like it's going to be potentially a really strong 2025 and into 2026 with some of those milestones happening.
Look, we take nothing for granted. The reality is that the economic environment and the venture environment have simultaneously undergone through a once-in-a-generation change. Again, we have to look at the opportunities in that. But as it happens, many of our companies are exactly in the hot sectors that are benefiting from this environment: defense, security, resilience of infrastructure, computing, enabling AI, specific areas of medtech. These are all areas that are seeing greater investment. These are areas that are seeing greater interest as we reshore our industries and build up the domestic industry. And as it happens, this is where our portfolio is focused. Now, within that, just to give you a few examples, our Edinburgh University spin-out Sofant Technologies, who are developing SATCOMs for aerospace, they've seen tremendous growth in interest in industry. They have now tested their systems with Inmarsat, and we're really optimistic about where they go. You will remember a company called Deep Tech Recycling that we took over as a restart, really starting from zero from a valuation perspective. We've had follow-on investment rounds. They're worth about 12 million right now. More importantly, they now have projects in Scandinavia for the recycling of plastic into oil, where they're getting support from one of the Scandinavian governments for the setting up of a plant there, and they've got other projects. Yet another company, Wanda Health, digital healthcare, are seeing tremendous growth from the US healthcare system, with various insurance companies taking their technology. Now, all of these overnight successes have been under development for many, many years.
Yeah. Let's talk about the future ahead. Similar method of operation moving forward for the company. Obviously, it had great success during market turmoil in 2024. Everyone's hoping the markets get better in the second half of 2025 and 2026. So same disciplined approach moving forward from the company?
Well, look, hope for the best, plan for the worst. So again, I don't want to be morbid, but our approach is very much we're dealing with what we have in front of us right now, being prepared for growth. Ultimately, we're building resilient businesses in a way that perhaps wasn't being done a few years back when money was easy. In terms of what comes next, I want to draw attention in the prelims. You can see some of the results from our venture build portfolio. And by venture build, these are the companies where we hold double-digit percentage stakes, which we've acquired at a relatively low price, where we are helping the companies with our value creation services side to grow to the next steps. Deep Tech Recycling, dname it, Wanda, Vortex, these are all companies part of that practice. For that practice, we have provided roughly 400,000 pounds of cash investment over the last 3 years, roughly 500,000 of in-kind services. Using that, we built those stakes, and we've seen an 8.5 million pound fair value increase from that group of companies. We expect a lot to come out of those, but also we expect to continue to build our venture build practice, including through the increased exposure now we have to the UK startup scene through the Matlet Capital investment. So that's, if you will, one playbook that will expect growth, and the other one is continuing to grow our funds practice. What we have now with Matlet, now fully integrated in our platform, we anticipate and plan to launch a further fund, continuing to build on the same strategy, investing smaller checks in the university tech spin-out community. And it's having these two sides of the business that we think gives us a good hedge that enables us to benefit from whatever the future throws at us.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be exciting times ahead for sure. Ilya, thank you so much. Great to catch up with you, and congratulations on these strong numbers.
Thank you, Steve.
All right. Dr. Ilyan Ilyev, he is the CEO of EMV Capital.